Welcome to the Customer is Everything podcast, where the customer is the history of our story.
Welcome and good morning to you. I'm your host, Jason Heiss, and we're going to talk about customer service skills that every employee needs. Hey, if you're going to have a great business, if you're going to ensure that you grow your business, you're going to make sure that every employee you have masters the customer service skills. And hey, I have about 15 customer service skills that every employee needs to have when doing business with the general public. I'm going to cover these 15 most needed skills to master because I believe it's incredibly important to everyday customer experience. So, customer service skills, they matter. Well, why? Is it great to have just a people person on a counter and that's what you're looking for in today's employee? Well, not necessarily, because in my eyes, that trait is outright wrong. To me, it's generic, it's vague. Some people that may be people person are not business people. And they're not there to help out those entrepreneurs or those business owners. So you got to make sure that you're looking for the right set of customer service skills when hiring those important folks, because those people are going to be taking care of your customers. So with that being said, let me go into some specific skills that I believe that should be supported by all employees to master the customer interaction on a daily basis. And you understand my terminology of wow, write that word down, turn it upside down, and it spells mom. How would you want your mother to be treated? Let's get down to business. Number 1, patience. Now, if you don't see that near the top of any customer service skills list, you better stop reading that list. Patience is important to any customer interaction, especially when that customer is confused or frustrated and they've had that concern or complaint, but it's also important to the business at large. Remember, great service beats fast service every single time. And that when you deal with your customers on a daily basis, you've got to make sure you stay cool, calm, and collective. You stay patient, especially in those fast-paced environments, and that you really take the time to truly figure out what the customer wants. Honestly, your customers rather get a competent service than just be rushed out the door. Number 2, being attentive, or what I call customer focus. Now, this is the ability to really listen to your customer, and it's crucial to providing that great customer service. Not only is it important to pay attention to that individual customer's interactions, watching their language, the term they use, and of course, the terms they use describing their problems or concern, but it's also important to be mindful and attentive to the feedback that you receive from your customer. For instance, sometimes customers may not say outright, hey, look, you need to improve your website, or I didn't like the service today because it took too long. But they may come back at you like, I never can find that I'm looking for on the web page, or where do I go to get that function again, or, thanks. And you could just tell that customer's experience was not the best. And that's where you have to be attentive to be able to pick up on that customer and be able to have that opportunity to fix that issue. A lot of times a simple apology may help, but maybe you'll have to go a little further and get that customer handled. Number 3, clear communication skills. Now, explaining to the customer the process of your experience with your business. Now, With any problem, make sure you get quickly to the problem at hand. Customers don't need to hear your life stories on how your day goes, what's wrong with your life, and honestly, they really don't care. But more importantly, you need to be cautious about how some of your communication habits translate to that customer. Now, it's best to err on the side of caution whenever you find yourself questioning that situation. Look, when it comes to important points that you need to relay clearly to your customer, keep it simple and leave nothing to doubt. Show and explain them the path of the customer service experience in your business. Keep that clear communication. You know, that sometimes is hard to achieve, especially through a computer screen. So in this case, on your website, it may be a great idea to put a guide on how to talk to your customers with small bullet points. That would be definitely helpful in showing them the path without face-to-face contact. Number 4, knowledge of the product. The best forward-facing employees in your company will work on having a deep knowledge of how your product works. Now, not every team member, again, should be able to build the product from scratch, but they've got to know the ins and outs and how your products work. Just like a customer who uses it every day. You know, without knowing the product from front to back, you're not really going to know how to help your customer when they run into problems. Number 5, the ability to use positive language. Sounds funny, huh? You would hope and imagine that all your customer service representatives, including you, would use positive language. However, language is a very important part of persuasion, especially when it comes to sales. And people, especially customers, create perceptions about you and your company based off that language that you use. So let me give you an example. Let's say a customer contacts you with an interest in a particular product. But hey, the product happens to be back ordered until next month. Small changes that you use to utilize the positive language can greatly affect how that customer hears your response. Without positive language, you have your customer service rep saying, hey, I can't get that product till next month, it's back ordered, it's unavailable at this time, and that customer goes away feeling that you really don't care. However, using positive language, you know, your representative will say, hey, that product is available next month. I can place the order for you right now and make sure that it's sent to you as soon as it reaches our warehouse. How does that sound to you, Mr. Customer? Now, the first example isn't negative by any terms. It's just the tone that it conveys to your customer. Abrupt, impersonal, and again, it can be taken the wrong way by those customers. The second example, stating the exact same thing, but instead focuses on how the customer is going to get the resolution of the issue rather than focusing on the negative. Number 6, acting skills. Hey, sometimes you're going to come across people that you're never ever going to be able to make happy. Now, the situation's outside your control. That customer's had a terrible day, or sometimes they're just a natural born complainer. Sometimes those kind of customers are going to creep into your business, and you're going to be greeted with those, I quote, call them barnacle customers that seem that nothing else that you can do for them is right, and they're always going to pull you down. Now, every great customer service representative are going to have those, quote, basic acting skills to maintain that cheery personality in dealing with these type of customers that just may be simply grumpy. All customer service representatives that have great customer service keeps their cool, keeps a smile on their face at all times. Number 7, time management skills. In my experience, I've read a lot of research, a lot of customer service rants on why you need to spend more time with customers. The bottom line, there is a limit, and you need to be concerned with getting the customers what they want in an efficient manner. The trick here is that this should be also applied when realizing you simply can't help the customer. If you don't know the solution to the problem, the best kind of support member will get a customer over to someone who does. Or it's okay to tell that customer, let me get back to you, and then follow through with what you said you would do. Don't waste time to go above and beyond for a customer in an area where you'll just end up wasting both of your time. Number 8, the ability to read your customer. No. I'm not talking about prejudging customers as if they're going to buy or not buy. That is a number one no in retail sales that can't be happening anytime. What I'm talking about is your customers' facial expressions, their attitudes, their physical gestures, and demeanor while they're in your business or even while they're on your telephone. Now, you won't always be able to see that customer's face to face, and in many instances nowadays you won't even hear the customer's voice on your website. But that doesn't exempt you from understanding some basic principles of behavioral psychology and be able to read that customer's current emotional state. A lot of big words, huh? This is an important part of getting personal in the process with your customer to create that personal experience for them. Most importantly, though, this skill is essential because you don't want to misread a customer and end up losing them due to confusion or miscommunication. Look, looking and listening for those little clues about their current mood, patient level, or personalities will help you go far in keeping your customer interactions positive. Number 9, the calming presence. Now, there's a lot of metaphors for this type of personality. It's the customer service representative who, quote, keeps her cool, stays cool under pressure, but it all represents the same thing. This is the ability that some people have to stay calm and even influence others when things get a little hectic. I've always been taught never let them see you sweat. And I've had my fair share of hairy service situations, and I can tell you, in all honesty, the number one reason I handled those situations like a professional is due to the ability to stay calm. I don't take anything personal, and mostly I put myself into that customer's shoes to get to understand what they may be feeling, no matter how far-fetched it may sound. Now, if you have those customer service reps that are not always able to keep that coolness in times of panic or pressure times, you must give them a way out. Now, I use a small sign in each one of my locations that has my telephone number, my name, and my email address that my customer can reach out to me anytime. And I can handle that situation pretty much immediately. And the best customer service reps know that they cannot let the heated customer force them to lose their cool. In fact, it's their job to try to be that rock for that customer who thinks the world's falling apart around them during that problem, complaint, or issue they may be having. Number 10, goal focused. Now, this may seem a little strange to be on a list on a customer service skill, but I assure you that it's a vital importance. One of my blogs I wrote earlier in the month talks about empowering employees. And I noted in that blog that many customer service experts have shown how giving those employees free power to wow their customer doesn't always generate the returns that many businesses and companies expect to see. And that's because some companies don't stress the importance of those goals for the customer service experience. They're not concrete. They're not on the forefront of every conversation with their staff. And many of those customer service representatives couldn't even recite them to you if you asked them. That leaves the employee without knowing any customer service goals going forward. And the business goals plus customer happiness can